Welcome to another edition of the PETx podcast. I'm your host, Wayne. This is Lita and TeLisa. Good morning, ladies.
Hey y'all.
Morning.
And as always, we make better pet businesses one conversation at a time. We are three entrepreneurs in the pet care space that just really just wants to share our experiences and hopefully teach you, hopefully inspire you, hopefully give you something that you could tell somebody else to like be like, hey, listen to this podcast. It's pretty cool. So today we're going to be talking about as entrepreneurs, as business owners, those that have employees, or even if you're an employee, like how many first days do we allow as leaders? Right? We
Too
we all
many.
know
Too many.
how many first days do we allow? Right. And we all get those employees that that's been with us for a while, that has gone through the training process, but it just seems like over time that information just dwindles. Right. So now it's like who you've been here for a year now. Why do I still have to explain to you how to do an outro?
Yeah. See, I have a very low tolerance for that. Um, Maybe because I don't know, I'm in pet sitting, so I can't really afford to have my pet
It's
sitters
my
not
dog that done
do.
started barking.
Yeah. I can't really afford to have them mess up too many times just because it's people's pets and family members and they're literally trusting us during that period of time to take care of their pet properly.
Yeah,
So if you know the things that you're supposed to do from the time that you do the meet and greet all the way to the time that they pick up, and I have to keep repeating the same thing to you, I'm only going to give you so many warnings, and then I'm be like, okay, I'm going to have to let you go because the clients are going to start complaining and they're going to start writing bad reviews, and I don't have time for that.
for
So
sure.
I have a very low tolerance where I probably give you probably talk to you about two times, like, hey, look, make sure you do XYZ. Make sure you do XYZ, and then be like, all right, I'm gonna have to let you go because I can replace you. For real, like straight
So do
up. That's
you so do you actually have a number? Like you know how corporate businesses they do like a certain amount of write-ups and then just
yeah.
let it go. So you have a number?
Yeah, like two times. I'll
Okay.
talk to them twice. You know what I mean? They go through pretty intensive training anyway, like before they can have their first pet sitting job. Because we do like an interview. Well, they have to interview with my receptionist first. Then the video interview is with me, and then they do a conference. Well, they do like an orientation we have on Zoom with everybody, with all the new hires. So you go through all those three periods where we go over all the company policies and procedures, what I expect from you, blah, 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 blah. And if you have questions, we're always here. So if you decide not to ask during that time and learn, then that's on you. You know what I mean? So I give them about two times and I have conversations with them. Like, is there something that you don't understand that you need us to explain to you? You know what I mean? Communication is key. We're here for you. Like, we make it very clear in the beginning, like, communication is key. We're not going to get angry with you for you asking a question.
Yeah.
So if they decide not to communicate and do things that they want to do, then they'll be gone.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And what
Hmm.
I do, so I mean, I guess it's two times, right? So you get the verbal and then you get a written. And I stick to that. So verbal with written, and then whatever the consequences, after that. Like
Yeah.
it's hey, stay home,
Right.
or because now it's like you're messing up my money. So now it's like
Now we
it
have a
sucks
problem.
because
Yep.
I gotta miss money a little bit,
Yep. Yep.
you know. And it's like you never want to, especially as a business leader or business owner, you never really want to get to that point, but it's just like I'm paying you for a job
Hmm.
and I've trained you for said job and we've gone over how to do this said job over and over and over. So you're literally supposed to take this off of my plate
Yep.
so I
That's
don't
why I'm
have to
hiring
worry,
you. Yep.
you know.
Yeah, and you being negligent is adding to the plate.
Right.
Right.
'Cause
To
now
the
I gotta go
stress,
fix
to
it.
the
Now I
plate.
gotta go call the client. Right. For
Yes.
real. Hmm.
You know.
Yep.
So it's like, how do we get out of that? How do we stand up for ourselves and be able to communicate, what our expectations are better so that they understand, like, look, I need you to put in some type of effort to make this work. It's
Yeah.
a team effort to make this successful. It's
Yeah.
not just me. It's not just you. Like it's both of us together. It's all of us together. Coming down from the person that answers the phones to the person that books the appointment, the person that answers the door, the person that receives the client or talks to the pets or whatever the case may be. Whoever's job does whatever. Like everybody is part of this team to make sure that the overall experience is
Successful. Yeah.
is successful. It's good for the
Mhm.
client, right?
I just think
But
proper training, honestly.
yeah,
I feel like
Mm-hmm.
when our pay employees don't, you know what I mean, like do what they're supposed to do, it's like sometimes can be very much a lack of training and a lack of, like you said, consequences and a lack of accountability. Because if we're too loose, and I've learned this personally over time for owning a business for 10 years and being nice, that's what I call it, playing nice. So that's why I don't play nice no more, because I feel like when I was homegirls and homeboys, you know what I mean, with my pet sitters, it was a toxic environment. And
Yeah.
now that I'm like really strict and stern with them, and they understand now, they're a little bit afraid of me. They have a fear of God in them. Now they don't try me. So now it's like, no, you will be held accountable. There will be people that are going to talk to you about it, and I don't tolerate that. And I say in training straight up, like, look, if you mess up, it's not just you messing up, it's Paul Addicts messing up. So when they write a review, they're going to say Paul Addicts is a bad company because my dog was messed up when I picked him up. They're not going to
yeah,
say Sarah from Paul Addicts. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
every single time that you mess up, now it hurts all of us. And I tell them straight up, this is how I feed my family. This is how I feed my daughter. So do not mess with me, because there will be consequences. I
Yeah.
say it just like that. So that way they're scared.
Understand.
For real. Like, don't mess with me.
but some people don't even they don't get it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
time to
they
go.
they they just don't. And part of me. So before that was me, right? I was like, you
Hmm.
know what? I'm just let everybody go, clean house.
Hmm.
It is what it is. I'm just willing to do that and start all over with people who actually want to be here.
Yeah.
But going through it is like you have to really teach them at the same time,
Hmm.
like what your expectations are. So that's why I'm like, all right, don't go in, because I remember one day I came back from VMX 2 years ago. Everybody was getting on my nerves. I fired everybody.
I
Right?
remember you told me about that. Yeah.
Fired everybody. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I ain't got time for this no more. Everybody
Yeah.
go. Now, granted, I was at the shop working more. I was grooming more dogs. I was ain't getting home till like 8, 9 o'clock at night, whatever, right? But it was just like, look, yeah, I'm paying y'all for the job and y'all are stressing me out, and I'm just like, I just need y'all to come and get what needs to get done. And it was just like, all right, now at this point, I'm just like, all right, what do I need to teach you,
Hmm.
to be better?
Right.
Because it's like clearly there's some miscommunication somewhere. Some
Right.
things are just not pistons aren't firing. We need to, but where's the lack of communication or the lack of teaching to where it's like you have to, and this is something I'm implementing like actively to where it's like, all right, what when I have the time to, you know, not just jumping off the rails and going off. I'm like, all right, you need to learn how to do something. I'm going to teach you how to do something.
Right.
Let's just go ahead and just get it done. And then go from there. But at that point now, it's like I'm teaching you how to do it. So I expect
Yeah.
that this is the level, of quality and of the standard that you
Mhm.
maintain moving forward.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it just, like I said, it just goes back to holding people accountable.
Mhm.
Very much so.
And if you
But the
need to,
question
then
is,
training. Yeah, go ahead.
like, how does one go about doing that? Because like you like when you first come in the game as an employer, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, you try to be nice, you try to be friendly, and then people
Yeah,
abuse it. You be like, hey, you forgot to do
yeah,
this and you didn't do that. But then like once you get tired of, hey, you forgot, you be like, hey, bro,
yeah.
Hey, come
how
on,
many
bro.
times do it happen? Like, why is your day going like this?
Right,
Come
right.
on, bro.
Why are you being this way today? Because
Yeah,
this is not how we operate here.
Yeah.
definitely.
So like, how do you not be a douchebag about it?
Um,
Like,
you just be that. Honestly, that's my short answer. I don't know how to say. I don't know how else to tell y'all. Like I said, the business. I feel like is like the the saying "stern businesswoman"
hmm,
came from somewhere,
it
and
is.
I never used to understand that term for a long time. And I used to be like, dang, why would you be stern? Like, why would you be mean like that? Like in business. But as I started to become that stern businesswoman, I understood because it's like me and Wayne, we talked about this. You wouldn't try McDonald's like that. You wouldn't
Yeah.
try Petco like that. You wouldn't try PetSmart like that. So don't try my small business like that. And I feel
Yeah.
like just setting that tone and keeping the tone is very, very important. And also, honestly, what I learned too is hiring other people that has to go in between you. Like them knowing that there's a manager, they're knowing there's a receptionist that has to report back. So those are two people that have to report back to me. So if it gets back to me as the owner, you're in big trouble. If I
Yeah.
have to pick up my phone and call you, just know that I'm probably gonna dock your pay. I'm probably going to like tell you that you're gonna get less jobs. You know what I mean? I'm probably gonna like, like kind of like with, if you guys have a salon or something, less hours, like all there needs to be a consequence every time. Like, no, like this, you cannot do this. Like I literally tell my pet sitters, if you do not check in the time to pet, which is our scheduling software, if you do not check in the time to pet and complete your job every time you go to the client's house, you won't get paid.
Yeah,
I tell
because
them
why
straight
is it
up.
my responsibility to make sure you get paid? You got one
It's
job
one
to
job.
clock in and clock out.
That's literally what you have to do. So if you don't, and when it's time for payday, and I sit down and start paying everybody, and you be like, "Oh, Lita, I didn't get paid." That look, oh, and I circle it, screenshot and circle it. Oh, look, you didn't complete the job. That's why. Oh no, I did go to the client's house, but you didn't do it on time to pay. And that makes my life and the reception and the manager's life that does payroll easier. Not go back and try to see, oh, did you go and da da da. Like we can't see that. That's why there's GPS tracking in there. If you don't complete the job, it's not gonna
Yeah.
pick up the GPS tracking that you actually went. Yes, we could text the client and see if you went, but who's doing that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like,
Especially
no,
when you
just
pay a
stern.
system to make sure it get done.
That's why I pay for software.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Absolutely.
nah, just being
I'd have been
stern.
like, thank you for the volunteer service.
And I don't even care. Like they be like, well, I really need. Oh, okay. Well, you have to wait till
Thank
next
you.
payday.
Thank you for the community service.
Yep. Or you can leave. For
That's real.
real. You just gotta
I
be
bet, and
stern.
then they change up quick after that
Oh
because
yeah, they get their shit
I'm
together
not
after that.
volunteering.
Me neither.
Yeah, they
They
get
either
their
gonna
shit together.
quit or do it right.
Yeah.
Bye. For real. And I learned to be not hold on to to certain people too. That's another part of it. There's some people that, yeah, of course you don't want them to leave. They've been with you for a minute, they've been locked in, they've been loyal. But when it comes to like the people that come in and out, like the pet sitters, that's very high turnover. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, so, or even like in a salon, same thing. Like the groomers, I wouldn't say the groomers at the bottom, but the newer groomers or whatever, what I mean? Those high turnover. They're learning. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just like either you get in line or you don't. Like, because I can definitely find someone else and train somebody else that's willing to learn the way that I want them to learn. And it's just like once you start having that mindset, you just start attracting people too. Because I remember I fired a girl, hired a girl the same day one time. Yep, the position's open. You want the dog walking? It's 5 days a week. You get paid consistently every week. You want
Come
it?
on, Fridays.
Yep.
I need to
Okay,
come
go
work for
tomorrow.
Lita. She dog walking 5 days a week.
Yep.
You need somebody after hours.
Yeah. That after hour. I wish there was after hour besides drop-in visits. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you
for
You
real.
could.
somebody to walk out the 5 o'clock.
Right.
There's there's a market for it.
Yeah.
There's a market for it. You just got to find the right people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You
Gotta
know,
attract them.
these nurses that work overnight, these doctors that work
Mm-hmm.
overnight,
Yeah.
other
Police
people that work
officers and
at
stuff like
night.
that. Essential workers. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a market for it.
Yeah.
Now, but for sure, no, and that makes a lot of sense. And but the thing about it is like we're trying to avoid, burnout. We're
Mm-hmm.
trying to burn ourselves out, having to constantly go back and over things and do the thing, and you said it earlier, getting into the accountability of it,
Mm-hmm.
and keeping them accountable. Because it's one thing to, all right, I'm going to teach you how to, I'm gonna teach you how to give me a task, all right, I'm gonna teach you how to book an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna teach you what it takes to talk to a client, how to book an appointment, how to put it in the system, how to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that it's assigned to the right person, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you how to do that. But at some point, it's like, look, if we don't get these appointments in, you're not getting paid, I'm not getting paid, the lights are getting shut off.
Right.
So it's literally on you to make sure that we book these appointments and get this stuff done, right?
Yeah.
If it's not getting done because you're just like, oh, I don't remember how to do this. Well, why didn't you say this 3 days ago? If
Right.
you don't remember how to do it, but it's just like how do we, and I mean then it falls on us too, because like you see like you don't have no where all my appointments at.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any appointments. I'm telling you, like, this is your job to do it. So, like, when does it go from that I'm teaching you to I'm coaching you to do it? And then after that, it's like, all right, now we got to get out of this, and there has to be some type of consequence. Like, there has to be some type of
Mhm.
like, because you know what you're getting paid for, and now you're wasting my money not doing it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has time to hold your hand. Like I feel like pet care is not one of those jobs that, you know what I mean, it's a hold your hand type of job. Just like when we was in veterinary care, there's people that held our hand in the beginning, but after that, the doctor expected us to be responsible and know what to do and know how to set things up. Like the doctor don't even have time to hold our hand when we're in the middle of rooms, we're in the middle of surgery, all of that. So I feel like applying that same structure that we learn from corporate to our businesses is important because it's like it's just not that type of job. It's you have to be responsible for yourself. And if I spoke to you about it several times and somebody else spoke to you about it several times, it's not for you. And saying that, you know what I mean? Maybe this job
Yeah.
isn't for you. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you gotta hurt people's feelings for them to get it. Like, this isn't for you. You're
And
not
I done
a
so said that. I
yeah,
done said that.
for real.
I told the little girl, I said, you need to go sit down and talk with your mama and figure out
Right.
if this is something you really want to do. And if
Facts.
it is, call me. If not, I will mail you your last check.
Right. Exactly. No hard feelings.
None
No
whatsoever.
hard
Not drop
feelings.
it off. I'm gonna mail it to you.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no. I do that too especially when I want to be petty. I do the mail check.
I got
Or I
stamps,
hold it.
baby. Always.
Yep. Or I'll hold it. Like even if I send it electronically, like we put it in our contract that we'll hold it for 30 days before we send it to make
Oh
sure that there
Lord.
wasn't no mess ups from the clients coming back from what you did.
Yeah.
Her.
Mm-hmm. Because I didn't have that too. I didn't have them get mad because I fired them or let them go or they quit. And then they go tell the client something crazy. You know what I mean? The client, most of my clients are loyal, so they're gonna come back and tell me. So if you do something to damage my reputation or my client, guess what? You're not getting paid. And that's right here in the contract. You signed it.
Not only that,
Period.
but at this point, I'm finna file a defamation suit. Cause what?
Right. Don't try me.
Cause what?
Don't try me. And sometimes people get nasty when you fire them and make them quit. You
Hence, it's
know?
not that.
Do.
It's like a divorce.
Yeah, and I was telling, I forgot who I was talking to, but I was like, it's not cheap at all, especially when you're onboarding them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to offboard them and you have to
Yep.
go through, just taxes in itself
Yeah.
uh is expensive, right? But then
Yeah.
having to go through the whole process of offboarding them out of your system and everything like that, and then trust and
Doing
hope and pray
separation
that they don't,
notices and all that
yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
Like it really is. It's a lot of work. And it's just like we didn't get to this point for you to just up and leave and I gotta let you go and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But it's just like I just need you to be accountable as an adult. Like, hey,
Yep.
if you know if you know that you're getting and it's just my biggest thing, right? And this is just my mindset and our how we think and everything like that is, but it's just like if you know that you're getting paid for a specific thing, then why aren't you doing that specific thing?
Mm-hmm.
And or learning how to do better, like or and showing people that you're willing to go above and beyond for your job,
Yep.
or um just having that work ethic and that will that I'm gonna be the best at this, because the more we make,
The
the
more
more
you
I
make
make.
it, right? The commission, it's a
Like
commission-based job. Like, the
the
better you
more
are
you
at the job, the more work I'm willing to send you.
The more money I'm willing to give you. You know what I mean? Like
and
that's
I have
straight
no
up.
problem if I see, and that's the thing, is like if I see people working and doing what they need to do, coming in on time, great attitude, showing respect,
Yep.
uh, getting their job done,
Yep.
you know, minimal edits or minimal like having to critique things, and I see that you're elevating. And then you come to me and you asking questions and you want to talk about this and you want to, go far beyond just the beyond the table. And it's just like, I want to work on being a competition groomer, or I want to, go to this class and this education, continued education. Like now I'm just like, oh, yeah, we could get with that.
Right. Now I'm
I,
gonna
I
invest
can
in
I
you.
can
Right.
invest in that. I can invest in
Exactly.
that. But then you get the person that's on the complete other opposite end of the spectrum to where it's like they're late, they're not getting things done. You have to send dogs back, or they're
Mm-hmm.
not booking, or they're not talking to people. And then it's just like you can't ask me for anything because you still haven't completed the minimum.
Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because my thing
So
So
is, like, if I got an A1 employee, I'm like, ooh, with this person on the schedule today, I can book like three more dogs today. Or
it's really
exactly.
gonna get done.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
let's get you some money.
Yeah. That's
And
how I am too. Like I'm the same way, TeLisa. I'm like I like seeing other people make money.
let's get you some
Yep.
money.
Right. For real. I like to know that I taught you something that now, no matter if you leave me or not, you will have for the rest of your life. You know,
Mhm.
you can always make money off of it. And I know pet sitting, dog walking, nail trimming, cleaning ears, you know what I mean? Like bathing dogs.
Mhm.
Like I know that's something that you can always do no matter where you are in the world, literally.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's just like I
You gonna
enjoy
always
that.
have a bag.
Yeah, always. Like if my ankle wasn't broken right now, I could do it right now. You know what I mean? Like I know that's something that if I needed a few extra dollars, I could go do it no matter what, no matter what age I am, you know? So it's like I remember when I decided to hire my manager, the reason why I made her my manager is because the way she was hustling. Like
Yeah.
the way she was, and she was so intrigued. I think that was what was very attractive to me about her was she was so intrigued with the business. Like she never seen anything like that before, and she was so happy that I hired her and the enthusiasm. And she was just like, "Well, Lita, well, how do you be doing this by yourself? Like I can do this for you." Like she immediately was like, "I can do this for you." And she also was okay with because she was like a retired military sergeant, like so she was used to managing people, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like she was so good at like delegating and doing little things and tasks and making sure that the business came together as a whole and doing all the background stuff. Like she wasn't trying to be a boss. She just wanted to manage. And I was so happy about that. You know, and still to this day, she's a blessing. Like she didn't work for me through COVID, like without pay. Like I told her, I said, you know what, Bethany, you don't have to work. Like I appreciate you all these years. Like we just don't have the income, you know what I mean, to pay you extra. She said, Lita, just pay me whatever jobs that I do. I don't care about that. And then like I was just like, look, this lady is the blessing. You know what I mean? You had to come from heaven. Because what? Who's gonna work without pay? You know? So
I
she
love
was
you.
just always been that loyal one.
And those are the people that you're just like, what can I do for you?
Yes.
You know,
For
what can
real.
thank you, you know, thank you.
Yeah.
Like we said last week, having somebody help you in your business is a love language. Like that, thank
Yeah.
you. Cause now I'm just
Definitely.
like, I
Acts of
appreciate you. I
service.
love you.
Acts of
It
service.
is. It is. I remember one time we got funding from PayPal. I think PayPal gave us like 20 grand or something like that. It was like revenue based funding, right? Because our invoices. And I remember I just was like, ugh. I just sent it to her, you know, because I'm
Mhm.
like, you don't understand. Like I wouldn't have been able to get this even if it wasn't for you. The business wouldn't be
Yeah,
producing the income that it was producing if it wasn't for you. And I just sent her some money. It's
yeah.
just, she's like, what's
Cute
this for?
little
I'm like, this
bonus.
is a bonus. Yeah, I just gave her a bonus. Like she's been grinding for me, like doing payroll, managing the pet sitters, picking up the slack where I wasn't able to pick up. You know what I mean? And like, and then I was practically like a single mom because my husband was always away at the time. You know what I mean? He was in the military, so I was always running around doing a million things, and she would just be like, "Don't worry, Lita, I'll go do it," and she would just do it. Like those are the type of people you want, the people that you ain't got to say nothing to. They just know what time it is. So I'm just like, sometimes you gotta, there's good and bad parts. Like we're talking about how many first days that you get, that there's those people that come into your business and you be like, man, you ain't doing nothing right, like this ain't gonna work. And then you get those people that come into your business and you're doing everything right and more, and you got to be able to recognize those people and put them into position, even if you have to start them out with a little bit of pay on the side, because that's what I did with her. I just paid her like an extra 150, 200 a week at first, and then it turned into now she gets paid a lot more, you know what I mean, um plus pet sitting jobs on top of it. But you got to be able to recognize those people because those people don't come every day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the ones that you really have to show appreciation to and just be like,
Mm-hmm.
look, ooh, yeah, and a lot of people they won't swallow their pride and be like, I'm grateful for you and I'm thankful for you and
Yeah.
just simply just saying thank you. So we have to make sure, you know, we show those people that we appreciate them
Yeah.
because you don't have to do this, you know, and I think that's the thing about it. It's like you don't have to do this, but the fact that you are willing to do it and you're
Mm.
doing it with a smile and you don't mind doing it, then it's like, oh, you know, like
Yeah.
it's a breath of fresh air,
It
essentially.
is. It is. Especially people that, eventually might want to be their own boss too. They might
Mhm.
say it, but deep down inside, you're like, okay, I could definitely see you owning your own business outside of mine.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. As long as you leave respectfully. I don't mind training you to own your own business. I've had pet sitters that go off on different areas and start their own pet sitting business. And I be rooting them on. Like, yeah, I'm sharing them. I'm proud of you. Um, but sometimes people just need to feel that money in their account. And I did that with Tierra when I was mentoring her in the very
Mhm.
beginning, and she was working at Banfield and wanted to expand to outside of pet sitting and do a little bit of light grooming.
Mhm.
And we did like 3 dogs that day, and I remember I Zelled her. And I was like, what's your Zell? And I just sent all of it to her because I was just doing it to train her. I didn't really care about the money.
Mhm.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh, Lita, you don't have to give me this much." I said, "No, I want you to feel how it feels and visualize you doing this every day and taking it seriously. Because
Mhm.
that's the only way that you're going to be able to get out of, you know what I mean, like the vet
Mm-hmm.
clinic, work in corporate America, and be able to do it on your own because you're capable. You have the education, you have the experience, you have everything that you need to be what you need to be. But you just got to feel it sometimes. I'm big on manifestation and visualization, so Yeah, and look at her now. Now
Right, doing her own thing.
she's doing her thing. Like that's why I'm proud of her. Like she really
Yeah.
took it seriously to really getting out of that. I call it a trap, but
I mean, essentially.
yeah, it is. I mean, but no offense to anybody that's still working corporate. You know what I mean? No offense. You know what I mean? It's just like it personally wasn't for me. I only could
It
do it
ain't for
so long.
everybody, just like entrepreneurship ain't for everybody, you know?
Yeah, it's not. You know what I mean? Like some people like that kind of like working environment, and I get it. You know what I mean? It's very comfortable, very
Mhm.
consistent. You know what I mean? Um, I learned a lot, but I just wouldn't do it again.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I'll pass.
I don't think I could though, to be completely honest. I don't think I could
Yeah,
go nowhere and start taking instructions from people. I'd be like, you know what? I quit. My man worked two jobs.
Mm.
What do I look like? I maintained a whole business. Why am I here?
that part.
No, I'm
Yeah,
gone. Goodbye. No, I
yep.
don't want to wear your uniform.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I don't want to ever turn into, too, right? I feel like the fact that we're business owners, I feel like we have the freedom to have who we have to work for us and be happy, right? Because there's so many people that work in corporate America, like that are not doing everything that you said, Wayne, right? We know they're not following company policies or procedures or whatever, but there's nobody holding them accountable, right? So it's like then sometimes those people merge over to try to come into our businesses and we be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know what she was doing
Follow
over there.
processes over here. It's
But
important.
we don't do that over here. Like and so yeah, I just don't I'd be like, look, you gotta abide by the rules over here. It's just different,
They're
you
here for
know?
a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, like a manager may not be able to see like 100 people,
Yeah.
but a manager can definitely see five,
Right.
10, even 20.
That
So
part.
like you're not gonna be able to get away with what you got away
Yeah. Over
with
there.
over
Right.
there.
When
Because
you're
I can
doing a
see
hundred
you.
or 200 dogs like a week.
I can see you
Right.
every day.
Yes, like I can see you. We know what time it is. We're checking behind you. We're going to check behind you. Like that's what we do.
We have no choice but to check fine. That's the
Right.
and then when we catch things, that's the frustrating part because it's
Yes.
like, how did you not see that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to check behind you and comb through this dog.
Mm-hmm. It
That's
might
number
not be
one.
today, but I'll find out eventually.
It comes back to me,
Mm-hmm.
at some point, and I'm just like, come on, y'all. Like, it's just come on.
Right.
Prime example. Remember, me and Wayne were talking about integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, do you know that there are people out here that don't dry dogs 100%? And I was
Mm.
like, there are days where like I'll be grooming out in the rain and I'll be like, why am I blow drying your feet when you finna go out here and step in this water
Literally.
puddle?
Yo.
Integrity is why I'm blow drying your feet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then like I have a bather on the weekends and she's blow drying this American Bulldog. He's massive,
Mm-hmm.
probably more dog than she should be handling, to be honest. But
Yeah.
you want to work on Saturdays, you grooming this dog.
Right.
So she was like, okay, I'm done. So I'm running my hands over the dog. I'm
The dog's
like,
still wet.
I'm like, this is the first place I go.
Right. Right. He's still
I
wet.
said, his face is still wet. In between his eyes is still wet.
Right.
Down the back, under the tail, feet still wet. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Right.
This is not your first day.
We've been blow drying for a year now, this month.
Get it
What are we doing?
together. Get it
That'd be
together.
It's
my
not even
thing.
your first time working with this dog. What are we doing?
And that's what I'm saying. Just be willing to learn and ask questions. Because I feel like so many of those situations could be avoided if people
Yeah.
weren't so like prideful on asking questions. But it's like I want you to ask questions. I want you to ask me like, "Hey, am I doing this right? Or did you want me to do it like this?" You know what I mean? Like it's okay. I'm not gonna be offended. I rather you ask questions. I'd rather you ask me a million questions before you do it wrong.
Yep, and I
For real.
prefer you ask a million questions and ask me the same one question a million times
Yes.
versus not doing it at all or not doing it
Yes.
correctly because then now because we're working with live animals here.
Yes. People's family
You
members.
Mhm.
depending on what the task is, you're risking
Mhm.
your safety, the dog's
Yep.
safety. Like, come on.
Yep. No, that's facts.
In the
That's
first
facts.
place, a pet parent gonna touch their dog is in the face. You cannot send a dog out with a wet face.
Right.
What are you
Fact.
doing?
Or and then they're gonna hold them and smell them. So now it's like,
I didn't even want to get to the odor part of it all.
oh
I just
yeah,
want to be like, you're gonna get busted before we even get to drive out of the driveway with a wet face.
yeah, yeah.
Facts. Big fact. Yeah. So I
What are we doing here? What are we
learners,
doing?
am I doing this right? Or can I use something else? Like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Especially when I learned like more about grooming because I didn't know much about it in the beginning. A groomer had to tell me use a high velocity dryer. I'm like, the freak is that? I'm over here using this blow dryer I got from Sally's for $20. And they said use a high velocity dryer. Changed my life. See, that's why you gotta ask questions. I
Mm-hmm.
would have never knew what that was. Now I can do double coated dogs. Because
Yeah.
before I wasn't taking those. I'm like, I'm not sitting here drying with this Sally's dryer. 3 hours
I can
later.
only
Take it forever.
imagine
Take it
Lita with a
forever.
hand dryer.
That
Yo,
was
that
my
was me
first
back in the
dryer.
day.
My first dryer too was a little hand
Oh,
dryer.
it
Hand dryer.
was. It
My
was.
Yo,
And it
I
was
have a
I didn't know
outside,
picture
but it
of me
was
in the
blue,
bathroom.
right?
purple. It
Mm.
was a little
Mine
purple
too.
one.
On brand.
Yeah, right.
Mine too.
Didn't know. I saw it. I was like, hey, yeah, I gotta get it. Not
Yeah.
knowing that there are better dryers out here.
You
There,
gotta
Yo.
start somewhere.
yeah. Literally, I was looking at my first groom picture. I was just like,
Somebody pay me for this.
Yo. For real.
oh, tripping. Yeah, y'all trusted me. I
How
would have
many
been like,
first days did you have, Wayne?
Yo.
a
That's really the
few.
question. We should have talked about ourselves. That's what we really should have did. Because that's the real
I had a
question.
few first days
Oh
myself. I was
yeah.
Yo.
like, y'all are
I
tripping.
had more first days than I can count on my hands and
Yo.
toes, actually. I should have fired myself a long
I should have
time
fired
ago.
myself a few times. Look, I remember one time I went to do a nail trim and I just so happened to drop. It was outside the house, so I'm panicking inside the house, right? So I was doing the nail trim, and of course, I quicked the dog. Right, he moved. I'm like, oh, shit, right? So I'm like, dang. So I'm asking them casually. I'm trying to like play it off. Like, do you guys happen to have any paper towels? Because I just want to like hold his foot more sturdy. My hand is a little slippery. The whole time I'm trying to stop the dog from bleeding. Then
Blood everywhere.
I'm trying to use one hand, trying to like rummage through my grooming bag to look for the quick stop. I'm like, where is my quick stop? I never come without my quick stop. And then he finally stops bleeding. Luckily, the parent wasn't paying attention, but he finally stops bleeding. And then I go outside. Where's the quick stop? Right outside my door.
Damn.
I was just like, these people still paid me.
It happens.
That was the devil setting you up for sabotage.
Yo, cause
Yeah.
what?
You just had to come up with something that day. You just,
Mm.
you had to go through that.
You
For some
do.
reason, you had to go through that
Now I
day.
won't even walk in without the quick stop with my hand. Like if the quick stop and the nail trimmer is out of my hand like this, I'm not walking in. Mm-mm. Learn from that.
Yeah. I
Yo.
feel that. That's how I am about my cordless clippers and my battery for my Dremel. And like if I'm walking out the door like this. I'm walking
Yeah.
out my front door like this. Because if it's not like this, I'm going to have forgotten them.
And you're gonna hate it.
You
And
get
I'm
to your
just like,
first appointment and have no clippers.
And
Hmm.
I can't remember the last time I like manually cut a dog's nails, like with the
Oh, the nail trimmer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trimmers.
see, I prefer that, you know.
I can't
That's
remember
just
the last time I
that's just
did
the
that.
vet tech in me though.
They had
Right.
them
So
nails had to have been really long for me to use those. But
right, exactly. So I'll start off with it and then I'll Dremel just
Yeah,
to
mhm. I
I
wouldn't
will
know what to do
Dremel it.
without my Dremel. I'd be like, oh, the whole day's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know. What am I gonna do with these nails? I
I
Yep.
don't
can't even cut the dog hair now. The
Yeah,
whole
but
day. I don't
it's like more scary for I think I noticed, because a lot of times I was going inside of people's homes. So I stopped bringing the Dremel. I brought it with me, but I started bringing it out as much as the dogs would really freak out. You know what I mean?
okay.
So I'm like, I would just mostly like trim their nails and then be like, all right, this is a hyperactive dog. You gonna shave them nails down by themselves outside of that concrete. I usually tell the owner like take them on a walk afterwards,
Yeah.
on
they'll
concrete.
file down. They'll
Yeah,
file
they'll file
themselves
down.
down. You just gotta
They
take
will.
them out for a walk.
Yeah,
I tell people that all the time.
they
The
will.
ones that be like, the nails are just too long. Walk your dog on
Yeah, walk your
asphalt
dog.
and concrete.
Not in the
Walk your dog.
grass.
If your dog was more active, you wouldn't have this problem. Those are the
You
words
wouldn't
I
have the
use
problem.
Yeah,
verbatim. If your dog was more active, you wouldn't have this problem. Walk
but
your
it's
dog
real.
on asphalt and concrete, and you won't have that issue.
Yep. And that, that
You'll
that's why they
never need
It's
overweight.
another nail trim.
Yep. That's why they're overweight because you don't walk them.
no,
That's
that's
a
real.
whole nother
Hmm.
conversation.
It is.
Right.
It is. All right, so we have to figure out how to correct people without correcting. Well, like correct them while correcting them, but like not correct them without like talking down on them, essentially. Because this generation gets a little sensitive, or this next generation is a little sensitive. Next generation of entrepreneurs, I mean not entrepreneurs, employees, are a little sensitive. So you can't really like talk at them. You got to really just like talk to them, essentially,
Yeah.
right? So now we have to, as leaders, we have to work on our communication skills and how to discipline them properly because it is a progressive discipline, right? Because it's just like, bro, either I fire you or I got to teach you. So now
Yep.
I got to take a step back, you know?
Listen,
Yep.
my bather, she
Facts.
hate to see me coming on Saturday. Hate to see me coming. 'Cause
I know TeLisa is a sturdy businesswoman. I don't even
listen,
gotta ask.
on
I would
the
be,
small dogs,
I probably would have
all
left.
she got is 30 minutes. Small dogs,
30
all you got is
minutes.
30 minutes to get the job done. And I'm starting a timer, 30 minutes. I walk in
Not
the
you started the
trailer.
timer.
I walk in the trailer after 30 minutes. Where you at? If she got two paws or less to do as far as nails go, I'll let her go ahead and finish it. But if she ain't, if it's she got to do all the feet or at least 3 feet, nah. And then I
Yeah.
go like this right here.
Because what
You
are you
out of
doing?
there. My turn.
Now,
No.
now we got to have a whole conversation about being
Time
efficient.
management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time management. You ain't never, and I tell her every time I have to do that to her, I'll be like, you ain't never gonna learn a new skill if you don't
Yeah.
pick up your speed in here.
Right.
And Saturday, she hasn't gotten a new dog on a Saturday in a very, very long time. So you should be
Mhm.
comfortable with these dogs that you're working with
Yeah, they
to
know
be able
you.
to
Yeah.
do this job in a 30-minute span.
Yeah.
'Cause none of my dogs are in full coat. They all
Yeah.
are kept short.
Yeah.
Like I don't book no long coats on Saturdays because those are people who actually maintain their dogs and don't mind
Mhm.
getting them groomed on a weekday. The weekends are the short dogs, the ones I had to shave down because they matted, they don't
Yeah.
get groomed every month, like,
Hmm.
but they're the same people.
Right.
Hmm.
So like
So would you?
you've worked with these dogs, you know these dogs, you should be
Hmm.
comfortable enough to handle these dogs in the
Yeah.
time that I allot you to do it.
Yeah.
Would you say that she's high skill, low skill, high will, low will? Like,
Do you want me to say that
look,
on the internet?
okay, never mind.
Yo.
Because it goes, and that's what it goes
Gotta
into. It goes
edit
into
this part,
skill and
Wade.
will, right? It goes into skill and will. Like, do you are you high skilled, but you have a low will, like low willpower, or do you have
Yeah.
like high willpower, but you have low skill power? Low
Yeah.
skill. So it's like
Okay, so here's the
you,
thing.
you, you
Here's the
gotta
thing.
gotta think about it that way.
Because I spent my whole life working with people. Like
Yeah.
I've worked with every age group of people, and I worked in a restaurant for 7 years. I've worked
Mm.
with kids at the YMCA. I've worked with adults, children, teenagers, and for whatever reason, the Lord keeps sending me kids as a dog groomer. So, like, I know what it looks like when somebody wants to do a job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I know what it sounds like when somebody is enthusiastic about their
Yep.
job.
Yep. That's
And
true.
she is neither of those things.
Mhm.
But the words that are coming out of her mouth is, I want to do this. I want to learn how to do this. But
Your
it's
actions
not
aren't
giving. Your
reflective.
actions
Yeah.
are not in alignment with the words. Your tone is not in alignment with the words. Like, I'm not convinced.
Facts.
I'm really just
Mhm.
waiting on her to be like, I think I'm gonna go find something else to do with my life. Because it's just not giving. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to be patient and give you a life skill because you sitting here telling me you don't want to go to college. So what you gonna do with your life?
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So I'm
You
trying
gotta
to give you
learn.
a life skill here.
You gotta learn to do something.
Right.
Seriously. I
So,
I get it.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to be patient with it, but she don't want to do this for real.
Right.
Mm-mm. So low will, low skill. She been working for me for a year, and all she can do is blow dry and bathe and shave paw pads. The nail trim is real sketchy. She run
Yo,
out of time before she can finish them.
the dog is barking in the background. Like, this is hilarious. Yo.
It's just,
But
it's just
it's real.
not.
We have to evaluate people at some point. So it's like it
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is
And I
because
did that too, and I made her cry.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Oh, speaking of that, that's actually really good. I can say
but
that real
speaking
quick.
of making people cry,
No. Um, I try my best not to. I'm sure I have once or two times. I've been called names before by people because they didn't like how
of
I
course.
operated, but I don't really care. I've been called worse by better people. So it's just like I did incorporate. Now this is probably around year 5. We did incorporate a kind of a grade scale type of thing or evaluation scale. So
Mhm.
basically what it is if they stay with the company more than 3 months, every 3 months we evaluate their performance and ask the clients, how they've been doing, how they enjoy their pet sitter, blah 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 blah, right? And then they
Mhm.
get a raise every 3 months. So
Right.
I did notice when I started to incorporate that, I started to retain more employees basically,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because people want something to look forward to, and just kind of like I go back to it. I tried to mimic my kind of work ethic and my structure from to corporate, and I remember working at corporate, and I remember them giving us evaluations quarterly, and we did get like a raise, and it was like, I don't know, 25
50
cents
Cent.
or whatever, right, whatever
Mhm.
it was. But I will give them a raise, so I will give them, like, basically a few dollars more they would get paid per job. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah,
just one individually, but like per job they'll get paid, so that way they can go out to do the dog walking, pet sitting, whatever, whatever.
for sure.
So
That's a good
yeah,
incentive.
yeah, it is.
It
And
is.
people really
It
liked it.
is.
So that's something else that you could do, because that would make people like work harder, knowing that they're going to be evaluated in a couple months. Like, hey,
Mhm.
if you stay with me, you roll with me for 3 months or more, like 90 days, we locked in, I'm gonna give you some money. And then that did make them want to work harder. I will say that. Yeah, they look forward. Then now they be like, "Am I P2?" We call it like P1, P2, P3, P4. Once you get past P4 though, there ain't no more raises.
You didn't met the cap.
We're at the limit. We're at the ceiling right now. We're at the
Right.
ceiling.
And I was even thinking, I was talking to Shan about this a few days ago, and I was like, I for sure want to incentivize, our employees to give everything that they can give, right?
Uh-huh.
But after some time, like you said, like you just said, there's a cap on what we can offer when it comes down to raises and when it comes
Yeah.
down to different type of benefits and stuff like that. And I was just like, you know what? Somebody that really puts in that time and somebody that really puts in that effort and everything that comes along with it, like we can literally give away like a 0.5% of our business, right? To people like, and it's just something that is like some point in time because a lot of big businesses and corporations they do that and they start to give piece of the business to the employees because now it's like you've put in that time
Yeah,
and
it's
you've
a
put in that effort.
benefits package
Hmm.
Right.
and for corporate companies to
Yeah.
Yeah,
get,
Equity.
yeah, yeah,
Equity
you
into the
get equity
business.
in the
to invest
business,
stock
right?
into the
Mm-hmm.
business.
Yep.
Exactly. So it's
Bro.
like that's something that can
Mm-hmm.
be an incentive for employees. Like at some point, you put in this time and you put in work to help us build. Like I'll give you a percentage of it. I'll
What
give
does
you a
that
Exactly.
look
piece of
like?
this pie. I don't know
Yeah.
How
yet.
do you?
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure how
I don't
that
know yet.
like looks. But that's
I don't
exactly
know. We ain't
why.
get there yet.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
That's why
that's
I
exactly
still
why
have
I want a
100%.
franchise, you know? I want a franchise because of that. Like it's like you can either get a location, you know what I mean? Like where you doing now you're doing it on your own. Or
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can give you a percentage of the business. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. Like I
Because
definitely wouldn't. Like that's where funding comes in though. That you gotta have funding for that. You can't just be like, yo, okay, Miss Suzanne that paid, you know what I mean,
yeah,
$400. You about to get that $400. No, you can't do that. You gotta have like
Yeah,
extra funding, like put away. Like, okay, cool. The money falls
right.
they
back
give
on
you a
the
cut of
company.
the profit.
Yep,
Yeah,
you get a cut of everything. So you gotta have your numbers together for it. But that is
Sure.
something I would love to do. Like I said, somebody like my manager Bethany in Hawaii, like she's been with me for 10 years. I would love to give her a portion of the company
Mhm.
easily. Here. You know what I mean? Like you held it down. You deserve it. So
Uh,
it's just like
yeah,
one of
'cause
those things.
that's why I said I was just like, look, we have to incentivize people, and I forgot who I was having a conversation with, but it was like you have to allow them to be prideful, like in the work that they do, and like give
Hmm.
them some sense of ownership, because
Right.
then it's like, like it's really relying on you to get it done.
Yep.
And I think that's the thing too. Like they know that we're gonna come behind them and fix it. They know that we're gonna come behind them and make it right. They know that we're gonna do this and we're gonna check because it's us working with them. But when it's 100% reliant on them to get it done correctly, then it's like it's a different sense of pride. When somebody either critiques it or gives them praise for it.
I was gonna say that when you start getting those clients that come back and be like, oh my gosh, this girl over here, she deserves a raise. I like hearing stuff like that. If clients are coming back telling me that you deserve a raise, that means you're doing something right.
I
You're
would
going
say
the
no,
extra mile to make sure those clients are happy. You know what I mean?
no.
and
But
also,
what did you say?
train.
No. what? What just
You
happened?
deserve a raise, but you ain't getting one. That's what he's saying. But Wayne,
Keep working.
like
Keep
with
working.
our work, it's a little different.
Hmm.
Because commission based is commission based,
Yeah.
and to be like, oh, you're gonna get a bigger percentage of the commission is, the shop losing money at that point.
Yeah.
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 Um,
That's why I said it has
so
to have funding. It can't
that's
be from the company. You know what I mean?
right.
Like it can't be the profits that are made every day. It would have to be
Daily, right.
you have 50 to 100 grand of funding, business funding to be able to give to that person. That's the only
Right.
way. Yeah. Hmm.
And so with that being said, depending on, your standing financially with your business, that's not realistic.
Yeah.
But what your groomer should be doing is impressing their client on their own so that they tip
Yeah,
because your groomer should be getting 100% of their tips.
definitely.
Better that groom looks, the more that client will tip.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So that's what they should be working for, not the commission,
Right.
but to get better tips.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that's where their incentive should come from. They tip
Mm-hmm.
money.
Yep. I agree.
And this is coming from somebody who worked for tips for 7 years. Okay.
Right. Same. I was a bartender
See,
and
you did,
waitress
see,
too.
see, that's a class right there. How to impress people.
Yeah.
How to talk to people, how to meet people, at their level, basically, to
Yeah.
provide exceptional service. Because a lot of people don't understand that part. That's why I try to get the staff to understand, like, hey, greet people with their names, talk, address the pets, ask them about their day, see how they're doing. Try to engage in small talk, a little bit at least, just so that they understand, like, we value you being here. We thank you, thank them before they leave. Thank you for bringing
Yep.
them in today.
Yep.
Something as small as that, something literally as small as thank you for bringing them in today.
Yep.
That that right there, just saying that, means that you go above and beyond, right? Because it's like you didn't have to bring them in today, but thank
Yeah.
you, and we appreciate you,
Thank you for
and
supporting
stuff
us.
like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta get people in the sense of, like, look, these people, look, a whole day of people can cancel,
Right.
but you got to be grateful that they don't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to make sure that they want to keep coming back and they love where they go, So it's a lot that goes into customer service and just understanding what the job entails, especially when you're working so close knit, especially with the owner. Like, I'm just like, look, I'm still working.
Right. I'm still here. You see my face every day.
Right.
I'm
We are not,
TeLisa. I'm the
we
one
are
on the
not at a
trailer.
level. Look, we're not
Facts.
at a level to where you're not working with the owner anymore.
Right.
You're never going to work with the owner of Walmart. You're never going to work with the owner of Nike.
Them
You're
days is
never going
long
to work
gone.
with,
A Petco or PetSmart. Right.
yeah, you're never going to
Right.
work with Bill Gates. You're never going to work with Elon Musk. You're never going to work with these people, right? But you're literally at the level in which you're working with the owner of the business. Don't you think you should be like, hey, I need to make sure that this person gets everything that they need to get done and taken care of so that they could take care of everything else. And hopefully they take care of me too,
Yeah.
because I'm helping them. But it's just like people don't think like that. And I'm
Yeah.
just like,
They don't.
Come in, get
Like,
their check and roll out.
yeah. Yeah. Because when I used to have the setup of the mobile grooming where we were going to people's houses, back home in Hawaii, we had a groomer and a grooming assistant, and they literally were able to watch them working out there. You know what I mean? Like, um, and they would tip more. You know what I mean? Because they could see that the grooming assistant would be sitting there working and drying off the dog or whatever else they were doing or holding the dog even. So it people when people can see that you're applying pressure, they gonna act accordingly. You know what I
Right.
mean? And especially if you already have
uh,
a clientele that obviously they have the extra income, otherwise they wouldn't be booking mobile grooming.
yeah,
you know so it's like you can really like cater to that, and I influence all of my clients to tip everybody, and I tell them, like, tip my pet sitters, tip my groomers, because they work hard. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's a company, so obviously we take a percentage of whatever they get paid. You know what I mean? So tip them.
And
They get
like
everything.
my clients know that they don't talk to me when they're texting and calling and stuff, but I'll go back
Yeah.
at the end of the day and just read through the text threads and make sure I ain't
Mhm.
missing nothing and all that stuff. And sometimes well, not sometimes, a lot of the times clients tend to overshare and
Mhm.
tell
Man, over
about their
that's a
personal
whole nother
lives and all that
episode.
stuff. So when you go, when I go to their house, like I'd be like, oh, I was told you had a surgery. How's everything going? How's recovery? And just the little things like that. And they'd be like, oh, everything's cool. And then I done spent 10 minutes of my groom time talking to the client Like that stuff matters to them.
It does. Builds relationships.
Right. It's a
Yeah.
relationship builder,
Mhm.
and you don't seem like a machine just here to get their money. I do
Hmm.
have clients that don't need that, but the ones that overshare clearly want
They
that
do.
type of
Yeah.
relationship.
They
So
want to talk
you
to
just kind
you.
of feed into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that type of stuff increases your tips. And I was just sitting here thinking like one day I was on the phone with Wayne and I was talking to one of my clients and he was like, "Oh, so you are nice to your clients." Yes.
Wha-
I be talking shit to y'all, but I know how to talk to these people.
Why would you say that, Wayne?
Well, it's not even nice to the clients. It's like the tone, like how she talks to us is so
Oh,
different
baby,
from how she
code
talks
switching
to
is
her clients.
real.
Okay. Like I'm
But
saying, like
she
it's
has
just
to
like the
be
tone is different,
successful.
you know. And it's just like,
Wayne, she has to.
what?
She's a successful businesswoman. She has to
Code
be
switching
doing
is
something.
real, okay?
Like
Oh,
for real.
because we get the we get we get TeLisa. You know,
Yeah.
we get TeLisa. They
We're not
get
getting
T3.
businesswoman. We get to
Yeah.
Lisa.
We
Right.
we get TeLisa, they get T3. So
Right.
that's it's and I was just like, oh, I
Well,
was just I was
you
just
really do
taken
be
aback.
nice to these. You be talking nice to these people. You
That's a
I mean,
nice
do you
lady.
believe that I talk
She's a,
nice to my
she's
clients?
a real nice lady. She's
Right.
when I want to be. If you pay me enough, I'll be nice to you too.
Same. When
a
I used to
real
be going
nice
to those
lady.
big
I
old
ain't even mad at it.
look, when I used to be going to them big old mansions in Buckhead at first, like the one over there in Powers Ferry, I'm like,
Gotta
hey,
switch
how
it
you
up.
guys doing? How was vacation?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be
You
nice to
gotta
you
code
too. You
switch
know
just
why?
a
Because you
just a
book
little
me
bit.
consistently and pay me more and tip me. Be
Yep,
nice to
I'm a
you
Yeah.
too.
smile at them and everything.
I didn't
Like,
left them a nice little card. When their
Yeah.
other cat died, I made a little collage
oh, I
printing it
send those
out.
out too.
Yeah, I
Condolences
printed them
card.
out, put them on the thing, and they were like, "Oh, but they were crying." I'm like, "You welcome.
Yeah,
Appreciate you
people
too."
people appreciate that too. The
Yeah,
things that
For
make them
sure.
feel like it's more than just
yeah,
providing you a service.
Yeah.
definitely.
They like those little extra things.
Yeah. And that's another thing with the incentives to employees is like I've always encouraged all my contractors to basically tell them like build relationships with these clients, because they're going to be texting you and you're going to be giving them updates on their fur baby every day. Like they want to know you, if somebody is coming into your house every day or often,
While you not home.
you want to get to know that person. You don't want to be mean to
Yeah.
that person.
Yeah, for
Like, you know what
sure.
I mean? So it's just like it's one of those things, and that's going to prompt them to tip you more. Like I had a client that did dog walking every week, and she tipped my dog walker every week consistently. I'm like, dang,
Mhm.
she tipped you another $80. Like that's generous. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that none of that goes to me. That all goes to them. So it's just like some things but it's because of that relationship. She walked her dog for 5 years. So it's just like, and she's consistent, and it's rare that she's not able to show up. Like she showed up every time. So
100%.
it's one of those things. You just gotta build those relationships. Talking to your pay employees about building relationships, I feel like is another fundamental thing to keep them to want to stay and do right and abide by the policies. And it's like these policies are set in place because I use them myself and I know they work. You
But you know what?
know,
It also pulls on their heartstrings a little bit too, because like the more they get to know the clients get to know them, and then the clients will be like, "Oh, where's TeLisa?
I
Where's
know.
Lita?
Yep.
Hmm.
Oh, is Lita here today?" And then I'm gonna call you and be like, Miss Brown, they asked about you today. You didn't show up today, Miss Brown asked about you. So
Right.
you're her favorite person in the world.
Yep.
You know.
So we
So
gonna
now
keep
it's like,
sending you there because she's
Yep.
happy with you. That's more
so
money in
now,
your pocket.
right
Yep.
now you gotta stay, because
You
Miss
can't
Brown,
quit now.
you can't
Now
leave,
you and Miss Brown are locked
because
in. You gotta
Because
stay.
I would
yeah,
hate to have to tell Miss Brown that you quit.
Right.
I would hate to have to tell her that, because
Yep.
she ain't going where you go. She's staying here. And I
Right.
was just playing.
She locked in with us, not you or us.
She locked in with her. No, I was just playing.
They
No,
not
but
like
yeah,
us.
that's how you
Who
keep.
playing? I
You
ain't
gotta.
playing.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Uh, But for real though. But yeah. Any lasting words on letting these people know how to, just keeping our people motivated. Keeping our people motivated, getting them to understand like we work hard and we're putting people in a position to help grow the vision,
Yeah,
but it's a team effort.
yeah. I feel like proper training, communication is key, holding them accountable, and having consequences. Those are my
Heavy on
5.
consequences.
So if you're thinking about getting some type of employee, contractor, or hiring people on for help, think about those 5 things. And don't be so nice to them. Try not to be their homegirls and their homeboys. Don't make it a homegirl experience. Take it from my advice. Become their boss, become the owner of the company.
Hmm.
Keep it very professional.
And also start looking into, pick up a book or podcast of a popular, somebody you want to be
Right.
and find out what a boss means.
Right.
Like
Hmm.
how they interact with their employees. I mean, some of them are CEOs, so they don't interact with their employees no more. But like there are many books out there that will teach you how to appropriately
Be a
interact
leader.
with
Yeah.
your employees.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. But like as an entrepreneur, as somebody who is um employing people, hey man, like I'm hiring and you got bills to pay. So let's just get this work.
Yeah.
Let's just get this work. I'm
Yeah.
trying to help you pay your bills and provide for your family. Let's do it.
Help me do the same thing.
That's it.
That's it. Help me help you so I can help you help me.
Help me
Mhm.
help you. Yep.
That's it.
Hmm.
Nah, but that's really it too. And on our end, communication, you know, be open to communicate, be open to coach, and like
Yep.
Lita said, be willing to put out those consequences when they need to get done because we tend to not do that and be soft on people because people have lives and stuff like that and we understand we have lives too, but at the same time we got to make sure that they understand like, look, if you don't do your job, then I can't get my job done. And if I can't get my job done doing your job, then we're not progressing. And if we're not progressing, then the company isn't growing. And if we aren't growing, we aren't making any money. If we ain't
Yep.
making any money, it starts back at can't even employ you and afford you for the day. So now you don't have a job because it comes down
Because
to
you're gonna
you.
be employed before I close this bitch down.
It's a waterfall effect.
It
Definitely.
is. It is. And
Yep.
it starts off with you saying you're either gonna not do it right, cut corners, or just act like I ain't even teach you how to do stuff. And I'm just like, come
Be
on,
all you
man.
can be.
Come on. It's just a matter of just being accountable for your work and putting in that extra work, man. Let's make it happen.
Yep.
All right, good people. That was a great conversation. That is our time. As always, this conversation is for us to just see, what we do in our business, inspire you to implement things in your business, ask questions, um, and grow your business, be successful out here in this world. Our goal, of course, is to build better pet businesses together, one conversation at a time. And build up our community in the pet industry. So if you are looking for a community to build with, definitely check out the PETx network. Otherwise, we will see you next week on the PETx podcast. What were you about to say? Oh, I thought you
Yep.
were about to say
It's
something.
not related to this.
All right. All right, y'all. We'll be out. Like,
Like,
share,
comment.
subscribe,
Yeah.
like,
Subscribe.
comment, share, subscribe, all the good things.
Write us a review.
Write us a review. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, y'all. We're out.